let's spend a little time on Jalen Hurts. Let's be fair and balanced.
Let's do it, man. I like this kid.
As you know, I started yesterday saying this is the Mahomes week because he is now in Super Bowl number 3 in 5 attempts in a row in the AFC Championship game. First 5 years as a starter, he's made the AFC Championship 5 times. He's now made the Super Bowl 3 times. If he wins, it gives him 2.
That's pretty good.
Puts him on pace, on track to get in the orbit in the galaxy that Tom Brady now resides all by himself. He's the last of us in that galaxy right there.
Nice.
I'm the last of my kind.
So he obviously is front and center, and he was last night at the media night. So is Jalen Hurts. Spend some time on this young man. When they won the Eagles the NFC Championship game, I took to Twitter and I put together a string of tweets that, pleased to say, went a little bit viral. Even NFL Network decided to make a nice array out of the tweets for its Instagram page, and I think part of the reason why it got viral and got picked up is because it is an amazing story. And as you pointed out, Chris, when I just said his name, you're like, I like that guy.
Yeah.
He's so incredibly likable.
Absolutely.
And
I shouldn't like him, and I do.
And his story is so amazing that it needs to just be repeated as he is in the Super Bowl town as a Super Bowl quarterback for the Philadelphia Eagles. And it's not going to be the first championship game of his life because his journey in Alabama, where he was playing his college football, he gets benched in the middle of a national championship game. We all know this story, but it just bears repeating just to say it all out loud. That he is 26-2 as a starting quarterback for Nick Saban, and he gets into the national championship game against their hated rival Georgia, and he's benched in halftime. And in comes Tua Tagovailoa, starting a conversation across the country saying, oh gosh, guy wins 26 of 28 games as a starter, and Nick Saban's benching him for somebody whose name I can't even pronounce. And Tua throws 3 touchdown passes, including 1 in overtime, to win. And the entire offseason and that night is consumed by, oh gosh, the NFL can't wait for Tua to come. As a matter of fact, the conversation was the Miami Dolphins fell so in love with him, they started tanking for him on the spot when he looked off the safety and found, by the way, Jalen's current teammate, Devontae Smith, in the end zone for that touchdown. And he becomes the starter the next year. So quit asking. And Tua, dominates in that season. And watching the entire time in this era, when they're passed over for the other guy and done so in the middle of the whole country's viewing window, kid says, I'm out. I transfer. Instead, Jalen Hurts not only didn't transfer, he stayed, and he didn't pout, and he didn't do a single thing except stand there and support Tua and prepare as if he needed to play the game like a professional. And he was there the entire time watching Tua light it up. I mean, absolutely light it up all season. Going into the SEC championship game the following year, Tua Tagovailoa had an incredible season where he threw only 2 interceptions and 36 touchdown passes. So not only is Hurts watching, the entire country is saying Saban made the right move all along. Not only did they win the night that he inserted Tua, but their kid throws 36 touchdown passes, 2 interceptions. The whole country saying he's going to be the first overall pick. Meanwhile, there is a kid from Ohio having boiling blood down there in the bayou saying, oh, we'll wait on that. But at the time, it was Tua's gig. And 11 months after he gets supplanted in the middle of the game, national championship game, in Atlanta, between Georgia and Alabama are back in Atlanta. Same building, same teams. Now they're battling it out for the SEC championship. Tua throws 2 interceptions. He is hurt. He's in the blue tent for much of the game. He gets stepped on by his own lineman with 11 minutes to go. And Saban goes, that's it. You're out. Hurts, grab your helmet. Think about that. Hurts, you're in. Same opponent, same building. Go get him, kiddo. And what Hurts does is march down the field, a game-tying touchdown pass to current Sean Payton wide receiver in Denver, Jerry Jeudy, capping a 16-play, 80-yard drive to tie the game. A fake punt by Georgia blows up in their face. Hurts gets back on the field, marches down, and runs one in 15 yards out with a minute remaining, and Alabama beats Georgia again. And it's Hurts now. And what does Alabama do after that? They tell Hurts, thanks for playing.
Adios.
Thanks for playing. And they go to the college football championship. They beat Oklahoma with Tua, wind up playing Clemson, and they wind up losing to our third-hour guest, Trevor Lawrence. And Tua starts that game too. Thanks, Jalen. See ya. At that point, Jalen goes, fine, I'll go to Oklahoma. And he goes there and makes the Heisman Trophy finalist podium with what he does in Oklahoma. Doesn't win it there like his predecessors, Kyler Murray and Baker Mayfield. But he does get to the podium. And, okay, now here's the kid who gets benched at Alabama, guts it out, way to go, wins the game, has to go somewhere else, doesn't win the Heisman like the two previous guys did, falls through the first round. And Philadelphia is the one that drafts him. Really? Because they got Carson Wentz. Really? Okay, let's see what happens. Jalen has to sit and watch. And finally, 2/3 of the way through the season in which Carson Wentz plays so horribly, Doug Peterson, after saying, while Wentz is playing horribly, he's the guy, we're not going to Hurts, goes to Hurts. And the kid lights it up. Only to be benched in the final game of the season because they needed to see what they had in the third-string guy. I still can't wait to get the 30 for 30 background on that benching. Don't understand it. Don't get it. Hurts is standing there in front of the whole country because, again, it's a Sunday night football game in which the Eagles are out because Wentz was so horrible in the first 2/3 of the season. Washington needs to win to get in, and if they lose, the Giants get in. The New York football market and the Washington, D.C. football market, the entire East Coast seaboard from New England pretty much all the way down to the Carolinas is watching. The whole country might be watching, and he gets benched again. Next year, it's his job. He gets the team through to the playoffs, barely, seventh seed. They go to Tampa. They get curb stomped by Tom Brady, one and done. Here we go into this year. And even then, there are people in Philadelphia who are like, why are we sticking with this guy? All these first-round draft choices that Howie Roseman is amassing, it's got to be for some kid that we're going to draft. Once again, overlooked. Now here he is, Super Bowl quarterback. Unbelievable. MVP candidate, Super Bowl quarterback. The owner of the Eagles, Jeffrey Lurie, knowing that it's a contract year, by the way, for Jalen Hurts.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Because he's a second-round pick. You don't get a fifth-year option on him. It's coming up. Contract year's coming up for Jalen Hurts. Are you going to let him walk into his fourth year and not pay him? He's going to, after all this, going to walk in with no contract extension. Really, when guys who don't get to this level 3 years into their career get pizzed like Kyler Murray, the guy who he followed in Oklahoma. We're not going to pay him, right? Jeff Lurie says he's already proven everything. He's our guy. Bag on the table for Jeffrey Lurie. You even said it yesterday, Chris, in the Overreaction Monday. Shouldn't he get the most guaranteed money of any quarterback that's out there that's being asked to be paid right now, including Herbert and Burrow? And you got to say, yeah.
Especially if he wins on Sunday.
More than Lamar?
I mean,
more than anybody who wants their money right now.
Absolutely.
He's gotten the Philadelphia Eagles back to the Super Bowl. He's an MVP candidate. I think he would probably have won it. For sure he will win it. Like, I think we'd go into this game like he's definitely the guy if he didn't get hurt and the Eagles finished up with just one loss on their docket, having maybe gone into Dallas and beaten Dallas, and then that New Orleans game wouldn't have unfolded that way, one would think. Unbelievable story. And the fact that he can win it all, and in many different parts of this football-loving nation, favored to do so, despite the underdog shirts that Jason Kelsey and some of the other Eagles came off the plane in yesterday. What a story. Can't believe it. Love it. This is what Jalen Hurts had to say last night about how everything I just laid out for you still plays in his heart and mind every day of his life.
It's nothing new. It's something that I embrace. It's something that I embrace. I embraced all the opinions. I embraced all of the hate, the doubt. And I didn't let it define me. And I won't start letting it define me now. So,
love it. That's how you lead a team. That's how people follow. That's what you want.
Let's go, baby.
That's what you want.
Let's go.
When you have an NFL team. That's the guy. Philadelphia found a good one, and Jeff Lurie intends to pay him, and he deserves every penny. And what a testament to hard work and self-belief. Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.